Welcome to Unlocked. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, and this week on the world's #1 Xbox show, we've got some fun topics. There is quite the Halo Easter egg of sorts hidden in Forza Horizon 4. I'll tell you about that. Plus, Doom Eternal, super impressive out of QuakeCon. I want to talk a lot about that. Plus, all of the Xbox announcements from Gamescom. But a quick reminder, if you haven't already readjusted your schedule, Unlocked has kind of sort of moved. In other words, you can get the show early now if you come to unlocked.ign.com. Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. The show now premieres a little early, 24 hours early to be exact, right there on unlocked.ign.com. And then the next day at its usual Wednesday afternoon time, you can find it on other channels as well. So let's get on with the show. I'm Ryan McCaffrey, as I said. Brandon Tyrell.
Hello.
Look at that. I like you're doing like the newsman, like you're coming on the
Very
air,
important
but still like
stuff.
taking notes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like,
yes.
you know.
Tuesdays,
Like,
you
doing-
say?
Oh, I'm researching
interesting.
right up to the last
my
moment.
Goodness, welcome.
We've got our friend Tom Marks as well.
Welcome.
I like you got kind of, it's almost a Fallout 76 bow
Oh, the
tie
bow?
today.
Yeah, it's a little kind of on brand a little bit. Totally planned, as you might imagine.
Why not? Well, we've got a lot to talk about this week. I was on vacation last week. I have no idea what you guys did.
We did a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 talk.
Yeah.
We had our good friend John Ryan in here because he has just poured over that game, has all the good details. We talked about Miranda's Shadow of the Tomb Raider IGN first and all those impressions as well. And then some stuff I can't remember because, boy, has it been a long week.
That's what happened. I want to mention a quick non-Xbox thing, but it's just of general gaming interest. In fact, I haven't even talked to you guys about this. So I was at Disneyland, and in the downtown Disney, there's just this storefront called The Void. I'm like, what the?
Weird.
And there's like some Star Wars stuff out front, and I walk in. It's the that Star Wars hyper VR experience that we had covered on the site like a month or two back.
Yeah.
It is called Secrets of the Empire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's in partnership. It uses Oculus tech, but it's a really crazy goggle helmet thing.
Really? Like full head kind of thing?
Way past the home consumer
Yeah.
Oculus Go headset with a haptic vest.
Oh, so you can feel every
Yes.
blaster bolt.
But the thing is, and it's in a physical space, so as you move around inside the experience, there are knobs and levers and even droids that you can, if you actually reach out, they're there.
Oof.
So it's in this, the way they have it set up, I don't know, is very, very clever. But I'd heard nothing but good things about this. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to try this. If you're ever in downtown Disney in Anaheim, and I remember they have it in Florida as well from our article or on it originally. Oh man, is it worth doing?
Is it really?
It's really cool. Like it's what you wish VR was in your house, in the sense of it adds the tactile feel. Like I don't really even want to give away any of it.
Yeah.
You should go in as cold as possible,
But
and know as little about it.
It's in downtown though, so it's not part of the park.
No,
proper.
you don't need a ticket.
You have to pay to use it, or
Yeah, it's expensive. It's
Okay.
I think it's like $30 per person.
I think for like super fans, it's an experience.
But it is a half-hour thing.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Well, from start to finish, I guess that includes gearing up. So the actual thing is probably 15 to 20 minutes.
Got it.
But you go on this mission and you're a stormtrooper and you get in there.
That's
and
really cool.
You can see like your friends are stormtroopers and you can reach out and touch them and they're there. They're physically there as opposed to just in the game there. But man, yeah, check that out if you're just as a gamer. Like even forget about if you're even a Star Wars fan or not.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Wait, it's like multiple people at once?
4 people, up to 4. Yeah.
Reminds me of like laser tag. When
really
you're,
good.
You're all in the staging area, getting your vests on. You're like, I'm coming for you, Greg.
It's not unlike that, except you're cooperating.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
you can all miss your targets together.
the sort of amusement park VR experiences that are starting to pop up are like a really interesting space for that because you can do things like that
Yeah.
where it's way more elaborate than anything you could get at home right now, at least.
Yeah.
That's a really cool space.
I will say, like when I had pictured it after it didn't end up being anything like I expected it to be, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
It's very worth the experience if you get an opportunity. All right, real quick, I want to mention a quick plug for my little pet project here at IGN, which is Unfiltered, the monthly interview series where I get to sit down with various video game industry folks. the episode that's up now is Cam Weber. He's the head of EA Sports. I think his official title is some long fancy thing. It's like general manager and vice president of EA and EA
of sport and
but,
sporting tradition.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But check that out if you're curious at all. I asked him about MVP baseball.
Oh, nice.
We're ever going to get, because Xbox fans every year,
Yeah.
like clockwork, when the show is coming out on PS4, like, oh, are we ever going to get a baseball game? And well, now I pose the question directly to the person most responsible. So,
Well, I mean, Xbox fans did get Super Mega Baseball 2, which was fun. You should check that out. You can kill the pitcher with a line drive.
yeah, that's really
That's the selling point.
that's what I remember. That's literally what I thought of when you said
Yeah, the video I posted
Yeah.
on Twitter. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I recall most. Not with all due respect to
It's a good game.
It is.
It's a good game.
I know it is good. But there's no Major League license. So
Right.
it's-
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so please check out IGN Unfiltered it's in podcast form, but I'd love it if you would actually watch the video. That'd be cool. Okay, let's get to it. And I want to start with Halo, but not just Halo and Forza together in a crossover. A really, really interesting crossover. I guess consider this a spoiler warning if you want to go into Forza Horizon 4 not knowing exactly what this is. Maybe fast forward 2 to 5 minutes, something like that. But I want to tell you guys about this. So Joe Screbbles from our IGN UK team got to see this behind closed doors, and he wrote it up for IGN. I want to read you his description. So there is a showcase event in Forza Horizon 4 that if you find it,
So cool.
it triggers this. So the event will appear on your map, and once activated, kicks off a cutscene. Again, this is in Forza Horizon 4. I just want to set everyone's place of context here.
Car focused.
Yes. Kicks off a cutscene that sees Master Chief walk up to a warthog, stare down a pelican, and then appear on a Northumberland beach overlooked by Bamberg Castle. And Joe notes, as a Brit himself, this is particularly weird if you're British. So it is Master Chief in the UK.
real world.
Yeah, in the UK. It says the mission is framed as a training simulation and has a set of warthogs racing to keep up with a pelican, avoiding swooping banshees, and trying to get to the finish line before the Halo ring you're on. And yes, the skybox has been changed to reflect that detail, apparently collapses. A fully voiced Cortana, shout out to Jen Taylor, narrates throughout the mission, commenting on what's going on around you and mentioning the, quote, ancient structures, a.k.a. the old British houses.
Yeah, right? Forerunner.
Pass on the way. It's a surprisingly fully fledged little addition. The fields are scattered with Covenant fortifications, and even the race barriers are made of hard light and genuinely funny in its execution. So, as if I needed another reason to look forward to Forza Horizon 4, here you go.
Yeah, this is one of those Easter eggs that like is just frosting, right? It's just
really
so
is.
great. It's just I was excited for Horizon 4 before this.
Right.
This is just great. I'm so happy to hear it, and I'm so happy to hear how like lush it sounds. It doesn't just sound like, oh yeah, you see Master Chief and there's a warthog mission and that's it. It's like you're on a ring, you're on a Halo, and like the skybox is different. And there's things out in the field, and there's Cortana's voice. Like that's so much more detail than an Easter egg like this needs, and that's phenomenal. It's great.
Well, what's great too is we've gone from. This is not the first time there's been a little Halo crossover.
Right.
I believe it goes back to might be even Motorsport 4, where the Halo Warthog was. I think you could unlock it in the Forza Vista thing, where basically where it's just in the showroom and you could pan around it and go inside it. And then I think it was drivable in
Rocket League.
Well, yeah, but it might have been maybe even Horizon 2 or 3. But we've built up from just being able to look at it at a Warthog to being able to drive it around to now having a whole mission. So you guys realize the next step
is just Forza becomes the escape the explosion mission at the end of every Halo game.
Well, I was thinking that there's going to be a Forza that Playground will end up just doing a Halo
Forza
spin-off.
Halos.
Forza Halo, dude, I'd be
Whether it's
totally fine with that.
think about it like a multiplayer
Ghosts versus Warthogs versus
like not a kart racer obviously, but maybe more like almost like a motorsport or a what's the Motor Storm.
Oh yeah,
like a MotorStorm. I know it's a PS4 game and we're on an Xbox show, but something like that. Like, why not?
Kill the lights.
Put all the vehicles in the game in there. Let's with the Forza Horizon engine.
I would love that, especially if you're like
happen.
tooling around on Halo Ring, or like you're tooling around one of the planets in the Halo verse. That would be really awesome, because you'd see, I mean, you'd be obviously tooling down streets and all that, and then just like sentinels would come out of rocks or something like that, or a phantom would appear somewhere, or a wraith would be lobbing plasma at you.
Be good.
I just want to know the physics of a warthog. Right,
Well,
like because that's what Horizon.
They're non-existent.
Right, but that's what Forza is so good at, is making each car kind of feel unique and sound unique and drive really differently. And I'd love to see what real life car they started with.
It'd have to be front wheel drive.
Right.
Like,
They have to go with like
all
a Jeep.
Warthogs have a front drive.
Yeah, like start with a Jeep and then slowly turn it into a Warthog. I'd love to see what that base was, or what they took inspiration from to actually get the feel of that car.
I smell a making of video.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? Like let's make that happen.
Didn't they make? I mean, they've made Warthogs before, right? Like I mean, some promotional thing.
Well, are you talking about in real life?
Yeah.
When I was at OXM, we had a freelancer go to New Zealand because Weta had made one. For that.
Was it for the Neil Blomkamp Halo movie?
I think it was for that. The movie that didn't get made.
The movie that became District 9.
Basically.
Yeah.
And our writer got to ride around in it.
Because the Warthogs they made for that Halo movie, when it was dissolved and then they retooled it into District 9, they actually used the same props in there and just like stripped them down. So I believe one or two of the vehicles in there were like Warthog chassis.
I didn't know that there was actually that strong of a connection between those two movies.
Oh yeah. They were making props and everything. I think some of the weapons in there are like assault rifle models.
There's a straight up Halo assault rifle, as I recall.
Yeah. And I wish I could remember. I think it was built on like a Wrangler chassis or something. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many.
Short
of building your own proprietary bespoke thing.
I'm sure someone has done it in their garage.
I don't doubt
If
it.
you've ever built a Warthog, email us at
let us know.
unlocked@ign.com.
All right, so great stuff again from Playground and Forza Horizon. Yet another reason to look forward to Horizon 4 on October 2nd. We're like 6 weeks out from that game. Can't wait. Now, Tom Marks.
Hello.
Doom Eternal.
Yes.
You got to attend QuakeCon on behalf of IGN, which we sincerely appreciate, down in toasty Dallas.
Yeah.
Ooh, was it toasty?
It was, I mean, that's the thing about QuakeCon is it was humid and hot out and stormy for a lot of it, but also QuakeCon, the hotel is connected to the convention center, so you're basically
you don't have to go outside.
you don't breathe fresh air for 3 days.
Yeah.
Right? You're just in a room with people playing computer games, or in a press room interviewing people, or in your hotel room writing for 3 straight days, and you do not see the sun. But
Sounds like Vegas.
kinda. But I got to go down. I got to go to QuakeCon. I got to be in the room when they did the big reveal, which of course they published as well.
3-part reveal.
Yeah, it was
of
crazy
Doom
long.
Eternal gameplay. What was, before we talk about the game, how was the energy in the room?
It was insane. I mean, it was cool too because id is based out of Texas.
Yeah, it's their home base.
Right. So about like a huge chunk of the audience, at the front of the audience, was developers. It was people in Doom Eternal shirts. It's a dev team on the back.
Oh, wow.
And so there were people losing their mind over this game, like
On
going
the dev
crazy.
team?
No. Well, I mean, partly on the dev team because they finally got to reveal it, but
I
also
imagine they're
just
all like showing their baby, right?
Yeah.
course.
And then also just the crowd was going nuts. And then they said, all right, can id please stand up? And everyone, like a surprising amount of people around us stood up, and the audience started clapping, giving me a standing ovation like crazy. It was really like a sweet moment for like fan dev interaction. It was really nice. You don't see that a lot.
I got to be in the room for Doom 2016's gameplay reveal because it was at their press conference, and I was at that, and it was just people were just going nuts. And Tom, I cannot tell you how in love with Doom Eternal I am so far.
It looks good.
What did you think of it?
I was crazy nervous about it because I didn't think this was for sure going to happen, but Doom 2016 wasn't so far away, right? Like it was only a year and a half, 2 years ago. And
years, yeah.
And it made me feel like maybe this was just going to be more Doom. And that's not a bad thing because Doom 2016 was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was a great, great game. But it made me nervous that maybe this wasn't going to do a whole lot to change things up. And then they showed this gameplay trailer that we're seeing right now, and it completely assuaged my fears immediately. Like, there's so much about this game that is different and that's new and that's an improvement or a change or just trying to shake things up. That I was really impressed.
So it's not just Doom Plus set in LA.
Yeah, basically. It's not. And it's also not just Earth. That was another thing we learned was everyone from that first tease from E3 assumed it was just Doom Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth.
But actually one of the other gameplay clips they showed was Phobos, right? You're actually going to these other
Doom
places.
1 style.
Right. So there's gonna be more to this game than I think a lot of people were expecting. The devs actually talked about how they added this thing called the system called the Destructible Demons, which is, and you might have seen it in that, is as you start...
Destructible Demons, name of my band, I call it.
Yeah, where basically what that means is as you start ripping and tearing and shooting demons, chunks of them fall off, and every demon has a specific... like a bunch of different areas. So if you shoot the arm, like meat will come off the arm, or if you shoot like horns, the horns will break off, and they're really, really detailed.
Over 50 areas of destructible demons. Yeah. So like each one comes like basically hobbled together, and then like it's destructible environments. Is it sort of? It's not anything goes, right? Like you can't blow off bespoke chunks of it. It's all like, well, if you're attacking this house, this wall can come off and that wall can come off and that chunk can come off.
Yeah, I think it's more like that. I think it's more specific areas on demons are prepared to fall off as you do damage to them. But some of that does have an impact on gameplay, so I believe. So like if you
blow a leg off or something.
I don't know if it gets that detailed. I don't think you can blow legs off or blow arms off, but I think there are enemies that have like I can't remember the name of that brain guy in the robo suit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Wait,
with the Gatling.
you mean the Arachnotron?
Yeah, the Arachnotron. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that you're just like tattoo that says Arachnotron.
I
got you.
was waiting for
like
Ryan
English
to chime
font.
But so for the Arachnotron, I think you can break parts off of that, right? Like there are certain creatures that do this. It's not as crazy destructible as just any limb.
Can you blow off the Gatling gun and pick it up?
I don't think so.
Man,
I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, but the craziest thing that I saw, and I think I talked to Marty Stratton about this, the game director. About the grappling hook that is on your super shotgun, which is a totally new thing. It's called the meat hook.
Oh, it's only on the
it's only on the shotgun?
Only on the super
shotgun? I didn't know that.
And as Mitchell Saltzman did some digging, and it looks like it's actually maybe even a weapon mod. So I think it comes by default on the super shotgun, but then you can probably swap something out. No, you can't. You can't swap it to other things. I talked to them specifically
you can
about
just remove it from the shotgun.
I think that maybe, and they haven't talked about this much, but I think that maybe you can swap it out for something or maybe improve it. But it is a feature that is unique to the super shotgun. And one of the things that they were talking about is you can only use it to hook onto demons and towards demons.
It's not for the environment.
This is not a Zelda grappling hook where you're going to be grappling on points to swing over gaps or like grappling secrets across gaps.
Right.
They want to keep you face to face with monsters at all times.
This is about you getting closer to demons quicker.
I think that's super smart because the thing about Doom that I think works so well was it is from the moment you enter to the moment you leave, it is nonstop. It is just 100%. And you can stop and like go look for little bobbleheads and little Doom Man figures if you want to. But like if you're just playing the story, there's maybe 20 seconds break between demon things. So.
True. The my favorite description of Doom, and I wish I could credit the person who originally said this. I think it's probably also been passed around so much that I don't know who the original author of this is, but it was somebody I think on Reddit or a forum was comparing Dark Souls to Doom.
Yeah,
and they said, if I'm paraphrasing correctly, in Dark Souls you are trapped in a room with monsters, and in Doom the monsters are trapped in a room with you.
The Rorschach quote.
Yeah, it's really true, and I think they recognize that. Like from talking to the devs, I think that they know what people like about Doom, and especially what people like about Doom 2016.
Yeah.
And then also we're not afraid Yeah.
Oh, sorry. If you're listening on audio, we're watching gameplay.
It's gruesome, man.
You should check it out. A spider just got stabbed in the eye.
But that's so. As an old school Doom fan, what made me extra happy about watching the Doom Eternal gameplay reveal were the numerous old school throwbacks. There were a bunch in there. So the Arachnotrons that you mentioned already, Tom, those are from Doom 2, the original Doom 2. The Pain Elemental was in there.
Yep.
The old school blue vial 1-point health pickups were in there.
You're going deeper than I.
I'm going deep.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that like jumped right out to me.
You want to just do a rewind theater live?
Probably should. The plasma rifle that we see in the gameplay is the exact like modeled originally just in with 2018 tech, but it's the same exact look of the plasma rifle, which is not how it was in Doom 2016. That grappling hook, and there's the new thing, and then of course and then I noticed actually just watching it here, the same thing, the old school that just stacks of shotgun shells.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the original as well. And then the big one, which is what that third chunk of gameplay where they ended it all, was on the Archvile reveal.
Right.
The Archvile was pretty much the big major new enemy in Doom, in the original Doom 2 as well.
Right.
Because the Doom 2 didn't actually have a big new boss, because the end of Doom 2, you're technically killing John Romero's head.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's John Romero on a spike.
Yeah, and then like there's the same cyber demons that there are in Doom 1, but yeah, the Archvile, who is super tough to kill. He can just create pits of fire where you're standing, and then he can also, if I recall correctly, resurrect dead enemies too. So you have to get him. You got to get him quickly.
I think they said it was twice the demons in this game. Twice
Good.
yeah.
I love that tagline.
Is double the demons basically. So there's going to be, that means not on screen at once, right? Obviously, there's double the variety.
Menagerie.
Yeah, you have a lot more to fight.
The bestiary.
It's also just crazy to hear that they're leaning into Doom lore with this game.
Yes.
They're trying to make it story based. They're going into parts of hell that, because I mean Doom 2016's story was fun. It was serviceable, right? But that wasn't the point. The point of the story of Doom 2016 was shoot some aliens, right? Or shoot some demons on Mars.
Blow stuff up.
That's what we are crafting this story to allow you to do.
You're the Doom Slayer. Just go slay demons.
And now I think obviously they're not going to stop that from being part of it, but it is interesting to hear that something about the first game resonated with people in a way that they want to explore that more.
I mean, when was the last Doom? It was Doom 3, right? The last one that had like a solid story to it, where you're going through and
you're exactly
Mars
right. Doom 3 was a retelling of Doom 1.
Yeah.
Doom 1's actually been done 3 times technically. Which is weird in a 4-game series. Well, now I guess now it'll be 5, but
it's just like what was it, The Evil Dead, where they did it the first time was a college film, and then they're like, you know what, let's just reboot it, do it again,
but Doom 3 they tried to take a much more narrative approach, and it's got a whole different tone and vibe, and it was a great game, but it was
more
not
like survival horror shooter kind of.
Yeah, it's not sort of up in the pantheon with the other ones.
It was a big deal when it came out, though. I remember my buddy was a huge PC gamer, and he was just like, this is the best looking game you've ever seen in your life. And he put me in this hallway section where the lights are flickering, and I don't know what year it came out. He had like a sort of, if not top of the line, close to it PC
Doom 3
rig.
was 04, I believe.
Oh, wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. Because there was an original Xbox port done by Vicarious Visions.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which was really well done, actually.
Yeah. But there was a scene, or there was an element of it where you're walking through a hallway and the light is flickering, and then something comes out of the wall, like this big demon dog thing comes out of the wall and grabs you.
Pinky.
Was it Pinky?
Probably.
Okay. Well, Pinky comes out of the wall lovingly and just covers you in kisses.
Note to self, never get in a Doom trivia contest with Brian.
Yeah, that's not one you want to challenge me on.
I just remember thinking like, oh my God, this is where first-person shooters are going to go, and it's really, really cool to see a little more of that story beat coming back to the Doom series, because it is a genuinely kind of interesting story. It's pretty cool. It
can be
science and hell
Well, this is how far down the rabbit hole that I went/live, Tom, is I've read all 4 of the Doom books.
Hey, Tom, did you know there was a Doom book?
I did not know there was
Now you
one,
know.
let alone 4.
There are 4.
My goodness.
The first one is a narrative telling of the original Doom, and it's actually like it's a short kind of like young adults level book, but it's pretty well done actually. And then Doom 2 is same thing, or rather the second book is a narrative elaboration of the events of Doom 2. They set it up where the demons have indeed invaded Earth, and you take up with the Mormons in Utah who've like hunkered down and prepared for it, and meet up with this like group. You're with this group of survivors, and then the third and fourth books that don't have a game to follow get, as I recall, pretty off the rails. I haven't read them in years and years, but
I knew they were Doom comic books because that's where Rip and Tear comes from, right?
Yeah.
Is from the comics.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me that it's not really ever been part of the video game, and it's now just like such a key part of Doom.
It's basically the Twitter version of the game description. Right? Doom 28, Doom Eternal, Rip and Tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A funny little tidbit as I asked the devs why it was, I asked them about the name because it's not, and basically they said they didn't want it to be Doom 2 year of release, right?
Yeah,
like they
Doom
didn't
2
in the same way that we're
2018.
saying Doom's 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
I also asked them, since this is a nice little unlocked tidbit, I asked them what they thought about Doom Eternal and Halo Infinite both being announced at
Right,
the
that's a
same
good
E3.
point.
Yeah.
With these like endless game name, endless adjective.
right.
Like, it was very odd.
Doom in perpetuity.
Yeah. And they said that they thought it was really, really funny too. And I think Marty Stratton said something along the lines of like, I'm very glad we didn't call it Doom Infinite, and I bet Microsoft is very glad they didn't call it Halo Eternal.
Yeah.
I guess the only other, you could have gone the Joel Schumacher Batman route and gone Doom Forever.
Right. Yeah.
Could have gone that way too.
Well, they're going to make more, right? They'll have another.
So
true,
everyone's in a
chance.
plastic suit with rubber nipples. And
They're going to keep making Doom games, I'm positive.
Pretty
As
sure.
long as this one is at all decent.
Yeah. All right. So that's Doom Eternal. We gushed on that for a while. Pardon me, because I can't help it. Doom is. That's a game. It's one of those rare games for me that I'm so excited about. I have trouble discussing it without using profanity.
Okay.
Yeah. Without just,
fanboying and just dropping F-bomb.
all right. So, Brandon Tyrell.
Hey, what's up?
Gamescom 2018 is
Oh, man.
underway.
It is.
You were up very, very early today because Germany is 8 or 9 hours ahead of us, which meant you had to get up very early.
Yeah, I was up
You
at
covered the
way very
Xbox
early.
Yeah.
I was up way very at 5 a.m. to come in and do some Inside Xbox coverage. All that stuff is on the site right now. You should go check it out. Just announcements from every corner of the gaming sphere. Seriously, I mean, man, there's some big stuff. DMC5 got a reveal. Master Chief Halo: The Master Chief Collection is coming to Game Pass September 1st. Tons of new enhancements and updates on that as well. Full HDR support, 4K, all that.
Now, Microsoft, we were all hoping, I believe it was Tom Warren, had posted a code name for the long-rumored new revision of the Xbox Elite controller. That announcement did not happen.
It did not, no.
But we did get hardware sort of.
Hardware adjacent, I guess.
Kinda. If you need an Xbox One this fall.
Oh boy, do they have something for you as long as you like one of 4 games. They have a whole series of, before we get into the bundles, they've got a whole series, the Xbox Design Lab, where you can go and sort of design whatever controller that you want. They have a whole bunch more camo options and shadow options, and they actually look pretty cool. I think you can get those for $70. But no Elite V2 wireless controller, unfortunately. There is a new PUBG exclusive wireless controller, though, and it is cool.
That'll do well.
It will, especially because PUBG finally is going to be coming out of early access. It's got a release date now. You can find that on
Yeah, we'll talk about
IGN.
that in a second.
And I would tell you, except I don't remember what it is.
I got you back.
Thanks. The PUBG controller is actually pretty cool. Like, you can tell a lot of thought went into this thing. It's on the trigger, it's got an X, right? And then on the left analog stick, there's a blue ring around it to symbolize the enclosing blue ring. There's just a lot of cool little nods to it. The big thing, though, are the bundles. Boy,
So,
are there
like,
bundles.
Wait, so bundles, so there are 2 or 3?
Yeah, times 2 or 3. There are 8, count them, 8 bundles that were announced today at Gamescom. And I'm going to run through them because 6 of them are pretty straightforward. Battlefield 5, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Forza Horizon 4 are all getting a 1 terabyte Xbox One S and a 1 terabyte Xbox One X bundle each. So whichever way you want to go with that.
Yep.
One S is 300, One X is 500 for all of those. There is a special Gold Rush edition for Battlefield 5 Xbox One X. It is just loaded with all kinds of games and Game Pass, and I think there's a gold thing you can redeem in there as well. Again, the details are a little fuzzy. There's a lot of news this morning. You can check that out right now. We're actually going to have a roundup of all of this on IGN, so you can go and see. If you're looking for an Xbox, you can find that. And then finally, there's going to be a Fallout 76 bundle as well. And again, that comes with a bunch of goodies in it. And I believe
so with all these,
it's a 1X as well. Yeah.
With all these, there's nothing different about the look of the console.
No, they're all just straight the consoles paired with the game plus some freebies thrown in as well.
Okay, good to know. So that is just like every fall, Microsoft's got you covered in the bundle department.
Seriously.
All right, this is.
Oh yeah, I was happy about this.
Yeah, this is really good news. Now this is a game. So Hunt Showdown.
So we jumped on this as soon as we saw the trailer.
Yeah, because
like 2 years ago,
it looked. I mean, it's like Left 4 Dead meets.
It's more PUBG meets Southern Gothic monster Van Helsing.
That'll work.
Yeah, it's a Hunt Showdown. It's basically you and a buddy, or I believe there's a single player mode. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
I think it's usually. You are in pairs, so
you
can go in singular, but you will be against.
But you will be against. Okay,
is as far as I know it.
Yeah. All right. So it's been in early access for a year now, Tom.
I don't think quite that long, but a while.
A while, yeah. So it's actually really cool. It's. I mean, I shouldn't lead with this, I guess, but it's permadeath, right? You have a hunter, you're a bounty hunter. You go into this like nasty Louisiana swamp, and you kill. It's set in like the turn of the century, I believe, like late 1800s. So you're using archaic, old timey weapons, but you go into this swamp with your partner, and it's just I think 4 teams of 2. And you're all like trying to kill each other, but you're also trying to find an objective and summon this boss creature. Once you summon them, the entire map is alerted, and you basically fight giant spiders or like terrifying Leatherface-esque monsters.
They're really horrifying.
And honestly, this is probably one of the most genuinely terrifying renditions of a video game spider I've ever seen. The way it moves, it ducks into like holes and pops out from the roof, and it is just, if you've got like even a small fear of spiders, do not watch gameplay of Hunt Showdown.
It's a fair warning.
Yeah,
it really is.
But it is a cool little like I don't know if I would call it battle royale-esque, but it is sort of a player versus environment.
Yeah,
kind of
I think they were pitching it as a battle royale initially, and I think now that it's in our hands, it is not necessarily the best description of it, because it is such a smaller amount of players on the field at any time, and the goal is not just to be the last person standing. The goal is to get this thing and escape.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have to kill anybody else.
No, there's viable strategies where you just wait in ambush.
Yeah.
Right? They kill the boss, and then you pounce on them, grab the reward, and make it to the extraction before you're gunned down.
Yeah.
But like we said, it's been in early access for a while on Steam. It is now officially coming to the Xbox Game Preview Program, which is Xbox's version of early access. And they'll announce when that's going to happen at a later date.
Yeah, I think this is great to see. I mean, we, like you mentioned, we jumped on this early, and we saw, the gameplay videos we posted were doing millions of views.
Yeah, the first video we put up is, I think, at 1.5 or 1.8 million right now, which is crazy. Like, that's a good, as far as metrics go, that's a good video.
Yeah, and there seemed to be a lot of momentum for it, but I feel like the momentum's kind of fizzled on that game a bit. Like, I don't hear anyone talking about it right now. And
I think it has. I mean, we did do an early access review on it, and there are some issues with the game, of course. I mean, there's a lot of balance to there's there's a lot of balance required to make games like this. I mean, you can speak
Yeah.
better to it than I can, but to make games like this viable and sort of, you know, continue to scratch that itch where it feels fair, but it's not easy. Nobody feels overpowered. You know.
Well, so one thing I don't think you might not have mentioned is this is Crytek. This is the makers of Crysis and the original Far
And
Cry.
Rise.
And, yeah, oh yes, who can forget?
Apparently all of us.
Hey, I'm a hashtag
Rise fan for life.
Rise fan.
I have it on my Xbox. It's a game I've never played.
The story is really good.
Is it?
It's a really good story. Yeah, play it. I mean, it is worth playing to the end.
It's pretty short, right? 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, I mean, I love sort of cinematic. You know, it's not. It is sort of like that Hellblade kind of experience.
I'll bet it
right?
still looks great too, because it was gorgeous.
I believe it got enhanced, didn't it?
I don't know about that because Crytek.
I mean, they had some issues after
Yeah.
Rise, yeah. So this is actually Showdown is their first game after, you know, they ran into some financial problems, but this looks like the entire team is behind it, sort of pouring their heart and soul into it.
Yeah, and I think I was gonna say to your comment about it fizzling since it came out in early access. I think that is a fair observation, and I think one of the reasons is, frankly, I think they released it too early.
Yeah,
I think that people saw this game that was, because it's Crytek, gorgeous.
it looks so
just beautiful. Like it's flat out one of the best looking modern games around. I think that's safe to say. But I think a lot of people were hoping it wasn't going to be early access. I think a lot of people saw it and were hoping it was just going to be this sort of finished, polished product when it came out. And they went from showing off gameplay to demoing the game in beta to an early access launch in a surprisingly short period of time.
Right.
And it was just not polished. And that's the point of early access. I'm not hating them for putting out an early access game that was not finished, because that's literally the point.
That's
and
the point.
To Xbox Game Preview, which is literally the point,
Right.
right? Is to finish the game with the community. But I think the reason it fizzled is because a lot of people had a lot of this hype for it, jumped in, and just kind of like it wasn't quite all there, and lost momentum. And I think they did that to themselves. If they had waited a while, obviously I don't know their financial situation or the deadlines or anything like that, so there's a lot of factors that go into that. But if they had waited longer until they had a more polished product, I think people would have been a lot more excited when it came out. Luckily now the Xbox Game Preview version is probably going to be a little farther along, so it might get a warmer reception.
And there's more content in it now as well. Like when it first launched, it was only, I think, 2 bosses.
Yeah,
and those are really the marquee sort of features of this game, right?
And there were a lot of problems with the strategy you were talking about, the ambush strategy, which is you wait till somebody else kills the monster, they get the bounty, and you literally just camp the exit point and kill whoever.
There was one extraction point, right?
I think that either there's one or you would run to the closest one basically every time.
Okay.
And that strategy has been, I think it's still a strategy, but I think it has also been, some of the griefing potential has been mitigated somewhat.
Yeah. I can totally understand frustration with that, right? Because you do all this hard work and you get it, and then you're gunned down right at the end.
It's not fun.
It would
By someone who's basically not playing the game.
Yeah, it would make me want to quit the game immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully to your point, both of your points as well, the Xbox release on Game Preview will give Crytek a chance to kind of a second chance at properly setting players' expectations.
Yeah, hopefully.
And to say, okay, we've got this thing, and maybe you've heard about it, but if not, here's the cool premise, and it's going into Game Preview. It won't, and it's not done yet.
Yeah, I mean, they did say today on the Inside Xbox stream, the monthly show that Microsoft does, that they were using this opportunity to gather data, to get feedback from players, and they'll use that to adjust the game. But I honestly think this is going to do really well on Xbox, in the same vein that, PUBG, when it came to Xbox, did really well, or consoles in general, I suppose. And then Fortnite as well, when it came to consoles. Like there aren't these sort of competitive type games of a high quality level for consoles the way there are on PC. And I think this is one of those things where if you're intimidated by going into a Fortnite or a PUBG match and fighting 100 other players and not knowing what's going to happen, whichever way the wind blows, this is a much more manageable experience.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
Yeah, where you do have like elements of the environment that you can interact with rather than just waiting for somebody to kill you from a half mile away, I think it's going to do really well, and I'm actually really stoked to see it come to Xbox.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this because they didn't give any sort of release date for the game preview version. We'll let you know. Wrapping up the other Gamescom Xbox announcements, as you mentioned earlier, Brandon, PUBG is officially leaving game preview and full release. 1.0 release September 4th. So that is right around the corner. The 1.0 release will see the addition of War Mode, a team deathmatch mode complete with respawns and teammate reviving where teams compete to reach a score goal, as well as a new map, Sandhawk. Is that how you pronounce that?
Sonok.
Thank you.
Sonok.
Totally.
And that's already live on the PC version, right?
You pronounce it where the H is on the other side of the N as it actually is.
Okay, I got it.
Because for some reason they wanted to make it super confusing. But yeah, that is already on PC.
So there you go. It's and then the controller coming as well.
That
so it's almost
coming out. Yeah.
You know, Microsoft really pushed PUBG hard last fall when it was debuting in December in game preview. Now they can push the actual 1.0 release pretty hard this fall.
Yeah,
as it'll be a big release for them 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
and I don't say that in like I'm not mocking them.
No.
It's sort of an interesting opportunity for them.
I mean that is a team that is working on that game regularly. If you're interested, if you have a passing interest in PUBG or like you're a hardcore player, you can go check out. There's a documentary they released today. It's like a short, I think it's 10 minutes, maybe 9, but it's Larry or Major Nelson went to the studio and interviewed them and sort of got a look behind the scenes. So it's kind of a cool little peek behind the curtain.
It's also really easy to forget, and maybe this is just me dealing with a billion PC games on a daily basis, but it's really easy to forget how big PUBG still is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this era where Fortnite is just the shadow of everything.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple episodes back.
Yeah, Fortnite has taken over the conversation, but PUBG is still a huge game, and I'm glad to see that it's finally kind of hitting 1.0, especially with the crazy rocky launch it had on Xbox with the performance issues.
It really was rough.
It's great to see that that's kind of it's made it this far, for lack of a better term. Not that it was ever really not going to. And yeah, the Sonok map is really exciting too, because there are a lot of people who play PUBG who I know kind of never want to go back to the other maps. It's smaller. It is
more intimate,
significantly smaller, and weapon drops are significantly more common.
So it's just a fast pace.
You just fall in, you get weapons, and all of the fights are like kind of within the 100-meter distance. You're never really in these. I mean, you can be, but you're not really in these crazy long sniper battles like you are on the other wide maps.
That's really smart, because not everyone can snipe, so it offers an alternative for players who maybe don't have that bullet drop nailed down yet, you know?
It's a much faster paced map, and I think a lot of people really like that, at least on PC.
Yeah, and then I'm one of the people who is interested in the 1.0 release, because when it first debuted on Xbox, I was watching it over Destin's shoulder at his desk, and it was visibly and clearly not ready for prime time.
The net code, it was rubber banding.
I looked at it, I'm like, I'm not, I know this is a big deal. I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
But the 1.0, now 1.0, yes. You're done, you're out, you're
It's them putting a flag in the ground, right?
Yeah, I'm ready to give it a try, so.
God, I want to be in the room when that happens.
See how badly I do?
No, just to see what happens. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen.
I'll probably make for a vehicle and just try to.
Oh, dude, no, let's play it. Tom and I will be in there.
That's not a good plan.
We'll be sitting behind you. We'll be sitting behind you with one large bowl of popcorn that we'll share between us. And we'll just watch what happens.
I got to watch
coming soon on IGN.
I got to watch Zach Ryan's first game of PUBG ever, many months ago.
Hachi, boy.
It was magical to watch. Yeah. It was really nice because he was like slowly falling in love with the genre because he'd never really played battle royale games, and it was just like. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. And then he just started playing Fortnite instead, and, that's okay.
That's what happens.
The end of that. All right. Also in the Brendan Tyrell department, Sea of Thieves continuing to add plenty of new content.
Forsaken Shores.
Forsaken Shores is the next big one, out September 19th. The next big update will bring a volcanic world to the Sea of Thieves called the Devil's Roar. The new island will periodically erupt and shake the world with tremors, launch geysers, fling rocks, and heat the water around the island to the point you can be boiled to death. This
is really cool. So some of the islands in Devil's Roar will be volcanic in nature, and they'll be dormant. And then all of a sudden, for whatever whatever procs them off. I don't know if it's timed or what, but they'll just erupt. And like you're talking just pyroclasmic like columns and your geysers and rocks landing, and it does heat the water up so that if you jump in the water from your ship, it will boil you alive.
Yeah, so Rare is introducing a rowboat for players to get safely from one area to the other. Obviously, you'll be pretty vulnerable in the rowboat.
You will, but actually, one of the developers that was talking about it, I was watching his interview, and he was saying that they've seen some really ingenious ways that players are interacting with this rowboat, like loading it up with gunpowder and just like rowing it over to an enemy ship, and then like ghost riding, like letting it go just sail straight in, which I think is super ingenious. I'm constantly amazed by the way Sea of Thieves players, the ways they find to interact with the game after months after it's launched.
Yeah, it was March, so it's been we're coming up on, I guess it's about 5 months now.
Yeah.
So a lot. They've already added a lot, and there's more coming.
Yeah, so this seems really cool. I'm looking forward to it. They're also addressing one of the major issues, my major issues I had with the review as well, which was just an inability of ways to progress or interact with, the sort of power accumulation in the game. There were only 3 types of missions to do. Kill skeletons, go dig up chests, or go capture animals and deliver them to ports. Now they're adding a new one. It's called cargo runs, where you basically have a bunch of cargo and you have to safely transport it from one place to another. And admittedly, that sounds kind of dry on the outset, but apparently there are a bunch of ways where things can just go horribly wrong. If you have like a cargo run full of rum and you move it too fast or too hard, it could break,
Okay.
So there are fun little, I guess, mechanics that sort of guide you along those different runs.
Sweet.
So we'll see what that looks like.
Forward to that.
Yeah, September 19th for Forsaken Shores.
More release date stuff. 2019. We already know about February.
Yeah.
Now March. Companies are beginning to plant their flag in the ground, claiming dates in March. You've got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice on March 22nd. And a couple of weeks before that, Devil May Cry 5 on March 8th.
Oh, just got its announcement today.
So that means pretty soon we're going to start seeing April and May dates pop up because we're booking out pretty far in advance at this point.
Do we get a break anymore?
No, and that's fine.
How much is January?
Not to complain, we all love our jobs.
Isn't the end of January is Resident Evil 2, isn't it?
All right, well, the beginning of January is okay.
The beginning of January is your only break. Yeah. From when's it's Smash and Hitman? No.
Smash
Hitman's
is
November.
Smash
and Just Cause 4 are
Just
December.
Cause 4 is December, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess from about mid-December to mid-January, you get about a 30-day break to play all the 6,000 games that came out.
You heard it. Our boss told us we get a 30-day vacation.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's in the books already.
That's not what that meant.
In the books. Yeah. Go check out the Devil May Cry Gamescom trailer that just dropped today. It is super wacky, over the top, just like Devil May Cry, the reboot has been. Dante rips his motorcycle in half, or maybe it was Nero. I'm not sure. I was riding while I was watching, but rips his motorcycle in half and beats enemies to death with it. One in each hand. Just
okay.
Seems effective.
very cool.
Yeah.
Maybe not efficient, but effective.
I mean, it comes apart like that. It's a motorcycle weapon, and then it's like,
excuse me,
like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style, like a fellow chucker, And then he just beats enemies to death, and I imagine it goes back together, and he gets on and rides into the sunset.
Video games were a mistake.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
There you go. Battlefield 5's open beta begins on September 4th for early access pre-order people, and then September 6th for everyone else, passing along more dates. And finally this week, Brandon Tyrell's
the most unlikeliest of announcements.
Another BT joint here.
Yeah.
Vampire or Vampire. I'm not sure if it's tomato thing.
It's Vampire. A lot of people are like, well, the Hungarian pronunciation is Vampire. And the developer is like, our game is called Vampire.
Okay.
So
well, that's that.
Go check out our Gamescom 2017 interview, and he says Vampire 1,000,000 times.
Fox 21 has been granted the rights to make a Vampire TV series, announced by the game's publisher, Focus Home Interactive. The series will be developed by DJ2 Entertainment and Wonderland Sound and Vision. DJ2 previously partnered with Square to produce a show based on Dontnod's Life is Strange, so that's happening as well. No release window yet, but DJ2's CEO Dimitri Johnson said his production company got on board with the project well before the game even released back in June. Dontnod CEO Oscar Gilbert says, "We believe it is a fantastic premise for a television show. We cannot wait to see how the talented team at Fox 21 will bring out the darkly atmospheric universe of our game into television."
Yeah.
Is there a cool universe there to pull from?
It is super cool. Yeah, it is. Yeah, God, again, I reviewed this thing months ago, but it is, you know, set in London, you know, during the one of the Spanish flu outbreak, and there is just this weird sort of grappling between humanity versus like the supernatural forces. It is 100% a period piece, and I think it would do, like, I mean, we've all seen those shows, like set in Victorian London. They do really well, but you need the production value there to do it. It is sets, it is costumes.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to do some CGI on the face and a lot of fangs, but I think it could do really, really well. The universe there is super rich. I mean, it's even got like a vampire aristocracy thing going on as well. So there's definitely something there. I'm curious to see if they have the resources that they need to put into it.
Guy looked like Commander Shepard, doesn't he?
Depends on what your shepherd looks like.
That's true. The default template.
I always thought
kind of a bearded shepherd.
I always thought he looked like Surge from System of a Down.
La 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 la.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That out of our system.
All right. It's been a weird day. If you've made it this far, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us. Let's get to the marketplace report. Brandon Tyrell, what is out this week?
So this week is August 21st to 24th. And the first game out is Brawl Out. It is a traditional fighting game. It has traditional fighting gameplay into a stylish aerobatic game the whole family can enjoy. And you can play online and couch co-op. That's Brawl out August 21st. Doesn't really need an explanation. Shenmue 1 and 2 out August 21st. Also out August 21st, All-Star Fruit Racing, a colorful racer. You race 9 other racers, online racing, 4-player and local split-screen racing. Out also August 21st is Tyler Model 005.
What?
It's a platforming adventure where you solve puzzles and take on the role of Tyler, a spunky miniature robot.
Okay.
Out August 24th is Planet of the Apes Last Frontier. So is this the same Planet of the Apes that was released early on PS4?
The thing we revealed a while ago. And then Max Scoville downloaded it.
Yeah, because there was an error and it went live on the PlayStation
that's
Network.
Probably it.
Okay, well, Planet of the Apes Last Frontier is a narrative-focused game based on the recent films. Your choices have consequences, conquest, betrayal, and survival. Send you towards either establishing a fragile peace or a bloody war.
Yeah, I think it's a Telltale style game that's not made by Telltale.
Yeah, but it's not the cel-shaded style. It is like, actually, it looks really good. It's the cinematic sort of quality of monkeys. Spectrum, August 24th. That sentence just stopped. It's an abstract world where players can jump, dive, and flow through 80 levels of unique shapes and colors. It's got an atmospheric soundtrack, and it is shooting for an immersive Zen-like platforming experience. Sounds cool. Another game doesn't really need it. F1 2018, if you like Formula One.
Big series.
August 24th, also Xbox One Enhanced. Distrust is, this one actually sounds really cool to me. It's inspired by The Thing.
Oh.
John Carpenter's. Helicopter crash has left a group of explorers stranded near an Arctic base. So far, so good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You go through a randomly generated base and overcome enemies and the deadly climate and a mysterious force.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah. Can't wait to play Dutch. So, Haunted, Halloween 86, The Curse of Possum Hollow. Wow, that is a super specific title. It's a platforming beat-em-up sequel to Haunted Halloween 85, completely overhauled combat system, and it is a faithful 8-bit gaming experience in 2018.
Does that game have parentheses in its name?
It does, yeah.
Oh, man.
The Curse of Possum Hollow. Well, it's already got a colon.
Yeah.
And an apostrophe.
My rule is you get 1 punctuation per game title.
Yeah, using all
not including apostrophes.
Yeah, there's some bangers out there then.
Yeah.
Haunted, Halloween, apostrophe 86, parentheses, The Curse of Possum Hollow, dash, the definitive edition. No, I'm just joking. Also out August 24th is Don't Sink. Capture islands, sink ships, defend your towns, and discover an exciting world full of adventure in this sandbox adventure pirate RPG that lets you explore a massive world full of unique islands, colorful landscapes, and the open sea while keeping your crew alive and your ship afloat. I didn't take notes, so I just read that full.
All right.
But yeah, it sounds like a pirate RPG. Out August 24th. And lastly, August 24th is Phantom Doctrine, a turn-based strategy game set during the Cold War.
Phantom Doctrine's kind of XCOM in the Cold War.
Cool. Is it like
you really like this game, didn't you?
Russia versus
Well,
US?
I haven't played it. It's just like I know we put up a review of it, and it's XCOM like has become a genre basically.
Yeah.
So it's XCOM like in the Cold War setting, and it's espionage and all that stuff.
Oh, cool. So it's not like they're trying to resurrect the Reich or like
No, I don't
summon
think
a
so.
cult or aliens or anything like that. It is actually spy versus spy kind of stuff.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be some sort of supernatural element, but I know it is mostly that sort of espionage spy Cold War.
You know what?
good.
Phantom Doctrine learns to draw for inspiration from classic spy films and novels as you carry out secret missions, investigate classified intel, and interrogate your enemies in the spy versus spy thriller told across an epic 40-hour single-player campaign.
There you go.
There it is.
Suppose we could just read it from the beginning and save ourselves 30 seconds.
How about over on the marketplace?
Tom?
All right. Halo Master Chief Collection is being added to Game Pass, which we talked about
Yes,
earlier.
September 1st.
Seriously, that is the best Halo value you can get. It's 4 complete games with a multiplayer suite, and now you can play all of them for $10.
Yeah, and it's really smart actually to put it in Game Pass because it'll help get the player base up across all the multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Game Pass mobile app is also coming, which means
right.
you'll be able to play Master Chief Collection on your phone.
Nope.
No, you won't.
100% wrong. You can manage your catalog, you can manage your subscription, and you can actually download games and have them install on your Xbox.
I like that.
So they're ready for you when you get home. It's in beta right now on Android. If you go to Google Play, you can find it. iOS, there is a beta, but I believe there's a sign-up sheet. If you go check...
In your story, you mentioned.
Okay.
It's limited, like limited sign-up.
Yeah. So go check out that news story on IGN if you want to find those links.
And then August games with gold, we have Forza Horizon 2, all in the month of August. For Honor going from August 16th to September 15th.
That's now.
Which is still one of those games that Ubisoft has just like kept going and kept
yeah.
supporting, and it still has a fan base.
It's similar model to Rainbow Six Siege. They
is.
really
Very,
know
very
how to
similar.
support a competitive game.
Yeah. Dead Space 3
It's gone.
It's already gone.
Yeah, August 1st to August
missed
15th. No more Dead Space.
Well, you could have gotten Dead Space 3. And then Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2. I don't know how I feel about 2 2s. It only has one colon.
You want to
but-
talk about punctuation?
Yeah, especially because Epic Mickey 2 is the numeral, and then the power of 2 is spelt out.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure how I
weird
feel about
formatting.
that. But you can get that on Xbox Games with Gold on August 16th to 31st.
Fantastic.
You can tell we're all a bunch of writer nerds. We're just sitting here talking about punctuation.
Let's discuss the punctuation of these.
Should we use the Roman numeral or the Arabic lettering?
I say stick with one or the other.
Yeah.
That's all I mean.
Don't mix and match.
Consistency.
All right. It is time, real quick, for Unlock Block Trivia. Chance to, let's see. Brandon, you can tie for the Ghost of Alana with the lead here, if you can get this. Tom, we're looking for you to get on the board. It's only your second or third unlocked appearance.
And
so.
last time was a sports question, so you caught me blindsided there. That wasn't my fault.
Well, it happens.
Damn, the one show I missed.
Justin Ellefson, whose gamer tag is YoungGopher92.
Nice tag.
The O's are zeros. From Boone, Iowa, asks... Actually, I think, Brandon, you got a good chance here because you covered Live Arcade for a number of years.
I do, but I feel like this one's almost too easy.
What Xbox Live Arcade game had over 1 million downloads? Pac-Man, Uno, Texas Hold'em, or all of the above? I'm going to go Tom's way first, see if he knows this.
I don't know it definitively, but I feel like the answer has to be all of the above.
What's funny is I feel like these games were some of the first ones to hit XBLA in the early days. And while I know Uno and Texas Hold'em both did really well, I'm not 100% sure about Pac-Man. But I also believe it's D, all of the above. Final answer?
Final answer for both? Okay. It's Uno.
God, I was going to say
yeah.
Uno too.
Pac-Man didn't sell a million?
The classic red herring
man.
of that tempting all of the above.
Knew it. I knew it was too good to be true.
Yeah, so
All 3 of these games were on XBLA for years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Years. And I remember seeing Uno, God, since like the first day I booted up or somewhere near there. That's a bummer.
Justin got you guys.
That-
Good job,
that-
Justin.
That
got
hit
young-
Xbox game Uno.
Yeah, I know, right? We got young Gophered.
All right. If you would like to try to stump the panel, please send in your Xbox trivia question. I need 4 multiple choice answers. Note the correct one in your email and send it to unlocked@ign.com. That brings us to the end of our program. Tom, anything you're working on you want people to check out, follow you on social medias?
Yeah, man. I'm at Tom Remarks on Twitter. I'm going to PAX next week, so be sure to follow our coverage of that because it's going to be a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be there. We're doing an IGN. We're doing a panel.
Yeah,
there's an unlock.
doing a panel.
I thought we were gonna promote this next week because we got one more week before.
Well,
guess-
I jumped the
well,
gun. I jumped the
Yeah,
gun.
it's fine.
But yeah, that's where I am.
Excellent. Brandon?
Yeah, I am Brandon Tyrell. My Twitter handle is Brandon Tyrell, making it really easy. I will also be at PAX West next week, and we are just going to be doing a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, man.
Go check out all of our Xbox stuff we put up today. If you're watching this, odds are something there interests you. I think we put up something like 20 articles and videos combined. So there's a whole bunch of Xbox content on IGN from Gamescom right now. I'll review Dead Cells. If you're interested in cool action, roguelike, Metrovania-like, any other buzzwords I can't think of, Dead Cells is amazing. Go check it out. I really, really love that game. And I don't know if you knew, but there are a million little Easter egg references in there to other games. Like, for example, did you know they killed Nathan Drake in Dead Cells?
Huh.
Yeah.
I did know that, but only because you told me.
Little teaser. I'm gonna have a feature up on that later today or tomorrow. So go check out that Dead Cells Easter eggs reference. It was a lot of fun to put together, and they're cool.
Fantastic. You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. I mentioned Unfiltered at the top of the show. Cam Weber, the head of EA Sports, is my guest for the month of August. I'm going to be shooting the September episode here fairly soon. So I think we're done. I think we've done it.
We've done it. There is coffee in the future.
Yeah, it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
For Tom Marks and Brendan Tyrell, I'm Ryan McCaffrey. This was Unlocked. What are we now? 358. My goodness. We're almost to episode 360, and I've realized it far too late.
Oh no!
can't keep-
Emergency brainstorm session.
Shoot! What are we going to do?
All right.
All right. Well, in any case, that was fun. We'll see you guys next week.